Alhamdulillah, hamdan kathiran tayyiban barakan fi, wassalatu wassalamu rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in ba'du. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Brothers and sisters, alhamdulillah, we have tried to remind each other how to overcome problem when you encounter that, especially thing to do with our daily life, prayers, people who are working with the not yet Muslim and so on. We can work anywhere as long what we are doing is not haram. We can be with any company as long the company's kind of product is nothing to do with haram. One is haram, then we cannot participate. Yeah? We know in Islam always emphasize even the gray areas stay away. Da'ma yaribuka ila ma la yaribuk. The Prophet said, stay away from any gray area to something that is clear. No doubts. That's how we move on. Yeah? Having doubts in life is not healthy at all. There are so many things that we are facing in life, and you still entertain the doubtful area, the gray area, don't help you at all. Just stay away, cut it off. Halal is clear, haram is clear. Wa bainahuma mutashabihat. Between this halal and haram, you will come across a lot of gray areas. So stay away. Yeah? News you hear say you don't have any strong evidence, don't comment. Yeah? That's why the Prophet said, Min husnil Islam al-mar tarkuhu ma la ya'ni. A good Muslim stay away from things that have no concern to them. Yeah? Now, something that is very important is our prayer. Prayer is something very personal between you and Almighty Allah Rabbul Alamin. To the extent that Allah is telling us that in Hadith Qudsi, that is the first thing He is going to ask us in the Day of Judgment. Not about all your other activities, about your personal relationship with Him. That He wants you to perform prayer 5 times a day. Anything come to Allah, labbaik, Allahumma labbaik. Like people going for Umrah Hajj, why you say labbaik? Meaning, I'm here, Allah. Responding to your invitation. When the azan is on, hayya ala salah, I'm ready. What this salah will benefit us? What do we gain from salah? Hayya ala falah. You gain success. You have peace. People who pray always, I believe, they have peace. Thinking of human, no end. Thinking of Allah, you find a lot of peace. That's why Allah said, Aqimus salah li zikri. Establish your prayer so you remember me. Then Allah said, Alla bi zikrillah tatma'inul qulub. See how Allah relate? If you don't understand the Quran, you cannot relate. When you understand, Allahu Akbar. When you remember Allah, your heart rests. You know how to move forward. You know what kind of decision that you are going to make because the guidance is there. You are guided. If you are guided, easy. It's like you want to go to somewhere, you don't know where is this place. Now you have Google to guide you. How you feel? You feel confident? How do you feel? You key in Google, or another one is what they call? Waze. I also hardly use this, and that's why I forgot. Yeah. My way of identify a area is through building. What kind of building there? Big one? What is the zone and what building? And then the rest, alhamdulillah, you know. But because of the waste technology today, they see things that I don't see. You know, they seem to know, they see from above. Or here, traffic jam. Here, a bit relaxed. So those who like the jam, go the jam road, you know, so that you take your time, relax through the jam. Yeah? Those who want to be hurried, you must use the other road. Anyhow, when it comes to prayer, prayer help us a lot. Because when you pray, brothers and sisters, you look at the pillar first. Now let us highlight the pillar. Highlight the pillars. I want everybody to be more alert. The pillar means if you miss any of these while you're performing your prayer, if one unit you miss any of these, you cannot complete your prayer until you add another unit. Okay? The pillar, the rukun, if you miss, you cannot just make sujud sahwi to rectify. You must add another unit to fulfill the pillar. Then before you give salam, you do 2 extra prostration, sujud sahwi. But if you miss only the obligatory requirement for prayer, not the pillar, you continue before you end, you make 2 extra sujud prostration, known as sujud sahwi. Your prayer is rectified. Clear on this matter? Anybody are clear? I hope. If not, you can ask me later on. Yeah? I just want us to understand the difference between pillar and obligatory act while performing the prayer. The pillar you cannot miss. When you miss, that unit is considered invalid. That's why you must plus another unit to replace, and then before you give salam, 2 extra, 2 prostration sujud, known as sujud sahwi, for the forgetfulness that you miss. Okay? Now, that is, you see the pillar, standing, reciting Allahu Akbar. No prayer can start without saying takbiratul ihram. That is known as the opening takbir. When you say that Allahu Akbar, anything happen outside, you cannot respond. No more eating, no more chewing gum, no more. You cannot put chewing gum, Allahu Akbar. Cannot. No eating, no drinking, no responding to salam, except recite what Allah and the Prophet want you to recite. That's all. Yeah? And then reciting Fatiha, bowing down, rise up from, known as iktidal. When you make sujood, 7 parts of the body must be on the ground. Rising up from sujood, sitting between the 2 sujood. Tuma'nina means everything you do, there must be a pause. It's not like, aerobic. No, stop. Then move. Stop. And then move. That is called tuma'nina. No rushing. Yeah? And then final tashahud, reciting during final tashahud, salawat upon the Prophet, perform all the rukun of salah in the tertib. This is known as tertib. Yeah? Other word, they say tertib. What comes first, come first. What comes next, come next. You cannot just jump here and there. You do it properly. Follow the tertib, in order. And last is to give salam. Next. Now, this, remember, no. Go back to the earlier years. You see, the rukun, if you miss any of the rukun, then the 6th raka'at will be invalid. It has to be added with 1 raka'at and conclude with the final tashahud, follow with sujud sahwi before giving the salam. I hope you have the understanding. This is about rukun. Yeah. But later on, we will go one by one about what is wajib. Now, when they come to rukun, the first one, remember, back to rukun again. Back to rukun, the pillar. Standing. Waqumullahi qanitin. You cannot perform all the fardu prayer without standing, unless you are not well. When you are not well, that is the only time Allah and the Prophet allow us to do while sitting. First, you must stand if you are able. This is where we have some issue today because of the standing and sitting. I will show you some example. Excuse me, I just get one chair. People who have knee problem. When you have knee problem, you don't have problem standing. Correct? You don't have that problem. You only have problem with prostration when you want to make sujood. You don't have problem while bowing down. You still can do that without any problem at all. So what do you do? Give you some example. Today, some people will give you idea, since you cannot make sujood, you should not even stand while prayer. You pray while sitting down. From the beginning of the prayer. And another problem. When you sit on the chair, can you make prostration on the ground? Can you put your forehead on the ground? You can't. So they say prostration, 7 parts of your body must be on the ground. Forehead and nose consider 1. These 3. 2 knee, 5. Toes, 7. Must be on the ground. But if you sit on the chair, how can you do that? So in certain country, people who are very particular, they come up with a special kind of chair. You know? A chair that there is something in front for you to put your forehead, your hand, like on the ground. Yeah? Just example, but just an example. Something lower than this, then come to sujood, then they consider, okay. But if you sit without all the thing that can support you, so what would happen? You would just make prostration, hanging like that, without touching the ground. They said your prayer is not valid. Who said? Not the Prophet, not Allah. People starting to give the idea. Some people go to another extent. Now, thing is more complicated. They say, so what you do when you make rukuk, you go halfway. Sujud, you stretch your arm down like that. But still, you didn't touch the forehead. So people give a lot of idea. No reference, just hearsay. Some scholars say. Normally, where we know, when you can still stand. So you stand. Because standing is the pillar. Only Allah said, Fattaqullah mastataqtum. Do your level best. You can stand. You can bow. Normally, you do the bowing. Sami Allahu liman hamida. Rabbana lakal hamd. The only thing you cannot go down, that's why you sit. To see make the difference now, it's like you're going down already. And then you do your level best. You don't go and stress. We are worried out of balance, boom, you go down. Who teach you to be so clumsy, to injure yourself? Not from the Prophet. Hearsay. Religion yang based on hearsay, there's no end. In the future, another guy will give you some new idea again. No end. Yeah? If you can sit on the floor, that means you have no problem with your knee. You cannot go down like that because you have problem on the knee. So that's why we say, why you make things so difficult when Allah make it so easy? But sunnah prayer, not the fardu prayer, you can do while sitting from the beginning. If you don't understand, if you're tired, your prayer is valid. For fardu prayer, obligatory prayer, you must stand. You cannot make sujud, you stand normal because you still can stand. Then you can make ruku normally. Do it. Sami Allahu liman hamida. Rabbana lakal hamd. And then you make sujud. Do your level best. Oh, they say, this is two ruku. Ruku first and there's no sujud. You don't know. You don't have problem. You don't have to comment about other people's movement. Yeah? Simple as that, brothers and sisters. Yeah? So please understand why Allah wants us to stand, because when you can, you must. You cannot play around with God's commandment. When you can't, Allah know, you know. Yeah. There were days when I was not well. I'm teaching my student. There was a day I got injured on my leg. I cannot. So I sit on the chair. Somebody, new student came, and then later on some gossiping going on. The imam pray sitting on the chair. They thought that that's what I teach. No. So it's very important, don't be judgmental. When you look at somebody who don't do the normal movement, if they have a reason, they do their level best. Say, you can stand, you cannot bend at all. So what can you do? Do your level best. You can stand, rokok time, you make sure, do whatever you can. Because you got a back accident, you cannot even bend. Then you can do, bend your neck. Make sure you know you are rukuk, you are making sujud. You know better. Don't worry about what people say. Yeah? You know about your body more than anyone else. Allah will ask you, not ask them. Yeah? That is how we focus on this. Yeah? This is the wajib now. Wajib means thing that if you miss, you cannot just do it purposely, but you may forget. You don't have to repeat, add one more unit. You just carry on with your prayer. Before you give salam, you have 2 extra sujud, known as sujud sahwi. Allahu Akbar, recite the same recitation, Subhana Rabbil A'la, 3 times, or Subhana Rabbil A'la 3 times. Sit up, Rabbik Fili, minimum, or Allahumma Gfirli warhamni wahdini wafini. Then go down for in the sujud Subhana A'la, then sit up, give salam. When do you do that? After reciting the Tashahud Akhir. You must end with Tashahud Akhir. Then before you give salam, do 2 extra sujud. Sometimes when you know that you have to do that, and then you are making Tashahud, because of your focus, your concentration on the recitation, you forget to perform sujud sahwi. You give salam. After giving, I miss my sujud sahwi. Then the Prophet command you, immediately make sujud sahwi. Yeah, sujud sahwi, recite Subhana Rabbil A'la 3 times, sit up, Rabbik Fili minimum, sit, go down again, Subhana 3 times, sit up, and then give salam. No more tashahud because you have ended this tashahud. Only you forget to make the 2 extra sujud known as sujud for forgetfulness. Clear? The best way to save all this, don't miss. Don't forget, be focused. But you can. Being human, sometimes you may forget. Example, thing that is quite often. Pray for unit, Zohar, Asar. You are on the 4th raka'at now, the last unit. Because you are praying alone, you forget. Have doubt. 3, 4, 3, 4. Have you encountered that? Sometimes, because so busy, so many things happen before you pray. So you want to pray, suddenly that thing came back. Now you entertain, then now you're in the 4th rakat, but towards the ending, you still have doubt. 4, 3, 4, 3. Immediately the Prophet teaches us, confirm 3. Don't entertain the doubtful area. Go for the lesser one. 3. Even you are in the 4th rakat because you have doubt, make sure 3. Then you add 1 more rakat and make sujud sahwi. Sujud sahwi to show us, brothers and sisters, if you have the right knowledge about prayer, mashallah, you find it so easy, so practical. There's always way out if you make some mistake, error here and there. Islam is here to show you how to overcome and move forward. But when you don't have knowledge, you got panic. Redo everything. Why must you redo everything when you can rectify it by following the way of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? Simple as that. Yeah. Please remember I know this thing. I remind you now. You may not encounter. When you encounter, we do not know how you are going to rectify. But when you have this idea, alhamdulillah. Even the Prophet have shown us one example. He was leading the people for the day prayer 4 unit. So when he was sitting for the first tashahud, the awal, everybody follow him and he gives salam after that. That means he missed 2 units. Are you telling that the Prophet are not focused in his prayer? He's like us, he's not like us. When he starts to pray, he's so focused. Aisha used to say, when the Prophet before praying, he may talk, entertain the friend, Q&A. Once he start, it's like he cut off everything. You know when to cut off. All other line off except my connection with Allah. But nobody dare to say to the Prophet, Subhanallah. When Imam make mistake, Ma'mum must remind. Nobody dare. Why? He is the Prophet. Some of them was thinking, maybe, Wallahu A'lam, there is another revelation was sent to the prophet today, that today prayer is shortened. You cannot compare you and the prophet. The prophet can receive revelation. Like what happened, the prophet facing Al-Aqsa Qibla, our first Qibla, for 2 rakat in the day prayer. After that, Wahyu was revealed while he was praying to change the Qibla. Change the direction. While he was facing, then he moved. And companions are very unique. When he saw the prophet move, they just move. They are good followers, not like us. If like, Imam facing me, what is happening? Subhanallah. But companion, prophet, they just move. Then later on, after the prayer, the prophet said, Allah command me while I'm praying to change the Qibla from facing Al-Aqsa to face Kaaba. Then only the news spread. After the prayer, all the companions go to different corner, different area, then said, Qibla change, Qibla change, Qibla. Then from that day until the end of the world, our Qibla is facing Kaaba. Just an example. I hope it's clear. Yeah, wajib is this. For this, you don't have to add any unit. Just sufficient by extra 2 sujud, known as sujud sahwi. That is the addition that we want to add for our brothers and sisters. Why? Because this is a prayer we do every day. So if you encounter any mistake, you must know how to rectify. You don't have to redo everything. And what happened, the example I show you, the Prophet prayed 2 raka'at, then he gives salam. After that, he will make zikr and he faced the companion. Some companion don't know what to say to the Prophet. If a friend, we can say, hey, brother, 2 only, no. How can you talk to the Prophet like that? They have a lot of respect. But one dare to ask the Prophet in a very respectful manner. He chose the word. Are we shortening our prayer today, Ya Rasulullah? Are we making qasar? Qasar is for the traveler, you pray 2. The Prophet said, no, it's normal prayer. Then the Prophet don't just listen to one, because maybe Ma'mum can make mistake. Sometimes Ma'mum can say to the Imam, Subhanallah, Imam know it's correct, but he was dreaming, then he forgot how many rakat. So Imam not necessarily respond unless more people is saying Subhanallah, then Imam must follow. So what happened? Then he asked the others companion, they said yes, only 2. After talking, and then they remind the Prophet, immediately the Prophet stand up, command all of them to stand, add 2 more rakat. Not doing the whole prayer again, no. Just 2 and make sujud sahwi. That's how, Beautiful Islam, if there's any issue you encounter while doing an obligation, and you have the pillars, then this is how you overcome. Don't redo everything again. No need. But if you don't have the right understanding, don't share this. You confuse other people. You must really understand the whole scenario, then you can share. In Islam, sharing is caring, but please don't misinform others. Then you create another fitna. Then they come to tell the people, he told me, I follow him. Then you have some problem. So you must be sure anything you want to remind a person based on the pillar of Islam, you must have the right understanding, the right knowledge. Not half sick and then you want to go and tell everybody. May Allah guide us. Now we open for Q&A. Fatafaddal again. Please, brother. What happened to the mic?
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Assalamu warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
I do have a question. Actually, I have a lot of friends they are from Pakistan and Bangladesh. And sometimes we do talk about the Islam, and we do talk about like how do they perform prayers. They told me that like maybe because of the culture or something like that, their prayers is different than in Malaysia. Like how does it like, do you know why does it like different? Maybe do they have like they told me they have a different orders or something like that, but I just don't get like a point of
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I understand your question very clearly because you come with like Bangladesh, Pakistani, and majority of them may follow the Hanafi school of thoughts. I show you one example. For the Hanafi school of thought, like you go to China, majority Hanafi, India, Hanafi. Takbir to ihram, the opening takbir, the first takbir. Raise up your hand. Allahu Akbar. Correct. You want to go to rukuk, you raise up wrong. Coming up, you raise up wrong. Only one. For takbir to ihram. Because they say this is the Hanafi way. Abu Hanifa never say that. That scholar, the followers of the followers, have the wrong idea, make that statement. That's why you have some differences. In reality, the Prophet raised up his hand many times, but they are not exposed to it. Majority of the people who follow a religion, not only the Muslim, even the Chinese, Indian, they are blind follower. They don't really read. They just follow what norm and what people say, they just follow. So when you have a better understanding, then you know. We don't blame them because that's what they're exposed to. Yeah. If you go to China sometime, if you raise up your hand so many, they can chase you out from the mall. They consider you are playing around. It's wrong because they don't know. So, but if you have the time to sit down, talk to them, because they never read the hadith. It was taught by generation to generation like this. So they thought this is the right way. Understand? So this is just some people who are very attached to the school of thought without knowing what the Prophet said. Here we are very open. We know what people is doing, is saying, but we show them what the Prophet shown us. That's how we move forward. If they still argue, don't prolong the argument because they need time. Yeah, they said, yeah, bad habit die hard. Yeah, they may need time. Give them time. Clear? Good. Next. Now, pass to the sisters, please. Help. Yeah, is what happened to the try again?
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, I have a question related to Muslimah prayers when you do ruku, because all the time I put my hands straight, but they were taught that you need to bend your elbows. So I wasn't sure which one is correct.
Yeah, the Prophet ﷺ, when he taught us the movement, subhanAllah, is very detailed. You see, when he said male and female the same, there's no difference. Only some people say, oh, male like this, female like that. No, not from the Prophet. The only difference between male and female is when the male become imam, there are two ma'mum. Ma'mum is behind, imam in front. For the female, no. Stand in the same saf, in the middle. There is one difference. Second, when the imam make mistake, ma'mum male say subhanallah. Ma'mum female clap their hand. You don't say subhanallah. Yeah? That is the differences. That is from the Prophet. Yeah? Now coming to the other rukuk. The Prophet want you to, the elbow go outside a bit, not straight. Go. Put some pressure on the knee. Yeah? Make sure that you rest properly on rukuk. Yeah, don't go like that until you have some problem, back problem, do your level back. Don't go like that. No, you go straight. Yeah, the elbow move up, go outward, not inward. Then you can see the balancing, the rokok. Yeah, even you can put a glass of water, it would not spill. Yeah, example, do it properly. It's like you go to do exercise, anything. Do it properly, then you see the benefit is always better. You are clear about that system? Yeah. There's no hadith to say the woman different, man different, except the area that I just shared. So those, like I said, have now been to our Salat class. This coming Sunday, next Sunday, we have the Salat, the full day course. Please try to enroll and benefit from it. It's a very important issue that we start from A to Z. Yeah? Okay. Any last question from the brother? Maybe the brother want to continue something? Yeah, please pass the mic to the brother. Yeah, the sister can hold the mic for another last question from the sister. Fadal.
The previous one, is it?
Okay.
Is it the previous topic, is it?
Yeah, you can go back to the previous one.
Oh, okay. Very simply, it says that how do we explain to other people that about the what it meant, like that? I mean, that we're not extremists. Or
Yeah, I think it's simple. This term, extremist, terrorist, conservative, you just said, it's been used by our enemy, and Muslim is using it again. Any Muslim who trying to do the minimum is not extreme. Even they want to go to maximum, it's not extremist. No, it's up to the individual. If I want to pray all the sunnah prayer more than anyone, it's up to me. I never said, you must pray the sunnah. Then I am an extremist.
Because like that colleague of mine, right? He's the kind of person, like you mentioned earlier, if I were to bring him here, right? He openly declares that he doesn't like us as a whole. But I only like you, because
Good.
I like you because you are not that crazy. And then I said, not that crazy means, you know, I pray in front of you. Ironically, the funny part is he takes me for prayer. That's very weird. But then I pray in front of him in his room also.
Of course. There's nothing to be ashamed of.
And then, I mean, like, as of when I was staying over and all that, but he's like very tolerant of it. And he said, you're the only Muslim that I like, because you've been very kind to me and everything.
Yeah, that's all.
But
I understand.
you know, I'm very, yeah. So,
Yeah, because you set some good example. He look at you, you are a good brother. You don't lie, you don't cheat, you are not the dirty kind of person, and you are not bad mouth anybody. As a person, you are good. So he experienced the goodness in you, so he respect you.
Because at one point he used to do everything in front of me, like drinking and everything. But when he sees me becoming more religious, he's very observant about it, and then he doesn't do that anymore. And he's very careful of how he speaks around me. But then at the same time, he told me that if you ever were to, migrate, you're going to Australia or something, you cannot carry on this, how do I put it very nicely? He said, this extremist behavior lah. I said,
She still want to use extremists.
I said extremist because sorry to say lah. I said you suddenly you pray, you bring all your wives, your wives coming into the country, you covering them up, forcing them to wear all this and everything. Not very cool lah. He said not very cool. Not very cool. So I said, I don't know why you have to think to that extreme lah. I said because exactly lah. He said you use the own word extreme. He said. Then I said, because you use the word. So I'm just trying to tell you that why the basic bare minimum is being done. And I don't know why you consider that a shift to extremism.
I understand. I personally have all this experience too. You see, because when they look around them, a lot of Muslims don't do that. A lot of Muslims don't even pray in front of a not yet Muslim. Shy. Pressure. They just disappear. And then they come back again. But when we want to pray, we don't worry anything. The place is clean. Qibla is there. I just excuse myself, brother. I do that wherever I go. Somebody will start to talk. Wow. But even my mother thought that I am more, but he don't know the difference between Islam and Malaysia. I'm more Malay than the Malay. You see, the Malay also don't do like I'm doing. I say, I'm not a Malay, I'm a Muslim. But because they don't see it from other people, so they respect us, they love us, but they don't trust other people. So they thought that you are maybe to them a bit extreme, but they want to use the extreme.
Because the last thing Sheikh, the last thing was that because the concern is that the more you go deeper, the more they will lose you as a friend, and then you will go into the era of they think that a true Muslim means you are going to go to that level of hate everyone who is non-Muslim, condemn them to hell. That's what their words are. That they believe that which is wrong. We don't think like that.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't. So they think like that because
The fear.
The fear. They're brainwashed to think that
You,
we are.
you know who put this fear in there? Our friend.
Oh.
Anything good that friend don't like, they will come and give you. No. To try to whisper to you so that you compromise lah. Don't be too extreme. No, I'm just doing the minimum. Actually, we are just doing the minimum because a lot of Muslims have failed to do even the minimum. Today, the world, the Prophet even said, there'll come a time, if you speak the truth, people just cannot believe. How can you be like that? Lying is a way of life. When I was teaching my student before, that was in the 80s, be amana, trustworthy. Don't corrupt yourself. Don't take any corruption. They're working in the custom and so. You know what happened? All their friend majority don't like him to be around. You are an obstacle for them. Because all of them taking here, a bit here, a bit here. You say, no. You become their enemy. Be a good person today is like bad to a lot of people. Be a bad person, member. Yeah, we are in the same group. You see, the world have changed. Telling the truth, people don't like. Lying, normal. Sin is being normalized today. But don't worry. After some time, you prove to them that they are wrong. You see, I don't judge you. You're still my friend. This is what Islam is. I'm just sharing with you about what Islam teach me, not what Muslim is doing. Muslim may go to that extreme sometimes, but I'm telling you about Islam. So don't give up. It is your duty now to prove to them that their feeling towards what is happening to you, the change, is extreme. Their view is very extreme actually. You just want to be a practicing Muslim, they say you're extreme. That means their view is extreme. Yeah. If suddenly I don't want to make friend with you anymore, you seeker, I'm Muslim. Bye-bye. And then you can say, I'm extreme. I don't do this to you. You see, I don't do this. I never go to any place. You Muslim, no Muslim, class. I still make you as my friend. I pray, you don't pray. That is your religion. This is my religion. Just be a minimum. You see, majority of the Muslims fail to even do the minimum. That's why when you try to do the minimum, some people say you are extreme. No problem. Don't worry. Our duty is to convey the message, inshallah. Any last question from the sisters? Sisters, any question? No more question, yeah? Any last question here online? Okay, please. Pass the mic. I hope everybody have the right understanding, yeah? Inshallah. Quickly.
Assalamualaikum, Sheikh.
Wassalamu warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Why do some imams recite Al-Fatiha after prayer? Besides other zikr, should I follow or ignore reciting the Al-Fatiha? Why do some imams recite Al-Fatiha after prayer? So should I follow or ignore reciting the Al-Fatiha?
Or after the, I see. Inshallah. Question, why not all imam, some imam, after Assalamualaikum, Assalamualaikum, then they may recite this zikir that the Prophet recommend. Then after that they may add Al-Fatiha. Yeah, very common, yeah. But this is the norm that has no evidence from the Prophet, but is common. Why they do that? Because they follow certain tradition without any evidence from the Prophet. You say, what's wrong? I'm reciting Quran. Is that wrong? No. When you fix something that not fixed by the Prophet. The one fixed by the Prophet is this. After salam, astaghfirullah. 3 times. Even only that, astaghfirullah. Not astaghfirullah al-azim allazi la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum wa atubu, like majority is doing. That one, there is other place for you to recite. Immediately after the fardu prayer, this is what the Prophet recommend. But it's not wajib, it is recommended if you want to recite. But the traditional way, Al-Fatiha, but not from our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we don't have to follow. We just follow the way the Prophet taught us. That will be better. So may Allah bless and guide us, brothers and sisters, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our prayer. Please don't forget my reminder, humble reminder, that next Sunday will be our Salat course. Those who can follow Bahasa, please enroll so you don't miss, because we don't know when we are going to die. When I'm going to die also, we don't know. This course, I have conduct this for more than 20 years. Yeah, it has benefit a lot of people, inshallah. May Allah help us to help ourselves. Until we see you again. Tomorrow we have our normal class again, Sunday. Yeah. Tomorrow, subah. Yeah, okay, Sunday. Okay. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.